Master your time, master your results, how mental clarity and smart planning lead to high performance, written by Ethan Carter, published by Great Audiobooks. Introduction: Redefining time management in a distracted world. For decades, we've been taught that the secret to success lies in mastering time. We've been told to create schedules, set alarms, color code our calendars, and fill out endless to-do lists. The modern world is obsessed with productivity systems, apps, planners, time tracking tools, digital reminders. And yet, for all this effort, most people still feel overwhelmed, exhausted, and behind. Why? Because time is not the real problem. The truth is, you can't manage time. Time doesn't care about your plans. It moves forward, second by second, no matter what you do. You can't slow it down, pause it, or stretch it. What you can manage, what you must master, is your focus. Your energy, your decisions, and your attention. This is where real productivity begins. Not in the hands of a clock, but in the clarity of your mind. This book is a radical departure from traditional time management advice. It's not about cramming more into your day. It's about doing less, but doing it with purpose, focus, and power. It's about eliminating the noise, identifying what truly matters, and mastering the internal systems that determine how you show up in every moment. If you're tired of feeling busy but never productive, if you're drained by distractions, pulled in too many directions, and unsure where your time is going, if you know you're capable of more but feel trapped in reactive, scattered behavior, then time mastery is for you. In this book, you'll discover how to operate with intentionality in a world designed to pull you off course. You'll learn how to protect your most valuable asset, your focus, from being stolen by endless digital noise. You'll understand the science of flow, the art of deep work, and the psychology of decision-making. And most importantly, you'll learn how to direct your energy toward the few actions that truly move the needle in your work and life. This book is built around 7 core chapters, each one delivering a critical piece of the mastery puzzle. Chapter 1, The Truth About Time, Why You're Not in Control, Yet, breaks down the myths of time management and explains why traditional strategies no longer work in today's distracted world. You'll discover how reclaiming your mental energy is the real path to regaining control. Chapter 2, Focus is Your Superpower, teaches you how to eliminate distractions and develop laser-sharp concentration. You'll learn how to identify what matters most and protect your focus from the constant pull of low-value tasks. Chapter 3, Deep Work, Real Results, introduces the concept of deep work, high-quality, undistracted effort that produces real progress. You'll learn how to create the space, structure, and habits needed to do meaningful work. Chapter 4, The 80-20 Execution Blueprint, shows you how to apply the 80-20 principle to your tasks, decisions, and goals. You'll uncover the small actions that drive massive results and learn how to double down on them. Chapter 1, The Truth About Time, Why You're Not in Control, Yet, Time. It's the one thing we're all given equally, 24 hours in a day. Yet some people thrive, achieve more, live with clarity and direction, while others feel overwhelmed, constantly behind, and stuck in a cycle of endless busyness. So what separates the high performers from everyone else? It's not time. It's how they manage themselves within time. For years, we've been taught that managing time means controlling our schedule, blocking out hours, setting goals, tracking tasks, and sticking to a strict routine. But in today's fast-moving, distraction-filled world, that model is no longer effective. Why? Because time isn't the real problem, attention is. You see, time is fixed. It cannot be paused, slowed down, or extended. It doesn't adjust to your moods, your energy levels, or your ambition. It simply moves forward, moment by moment. And no amount of planning can change that, so if you can't manage time itself, what can you manage? The answer is your focus, your energy, and your decisions. These are the real levers of productivity. The problem is, most people try to fix their lack of progress by getting more organized or managing time better. But what they really need is to reclaim control over their attention. Because in the age of distraction, your ability to stay focused is your most valuable asset. Distractions aren't just external anymore, they're internal. You can be sitting at your desk with all your tools, your calendar perfectly laid out, and still get nothing done. Why? Because your mind is scattered. Your energy is drained. You're reacting instead of creating. This is where traditional time management breaks down. It doesn't account for your mental state. It doesn't help you decide what to focus on when you're at your best, or how to protect your energy throughout the day. It assumes that every hour is equal, that what you do at 9 a.m. can be done just as well at 5 p.m. But you and I both know that's not true. Real productivity doesn't come from controlling time. It comes from understanding yourself. Knowing when you're mentally sharp. Recognizing what truly moves the needle. Eliminating low-value tasks. And creating an environment where deep focus can happen. The most successful people don't just work harder, they work smarter. They don't fill their day with more tasks, they concentrate on the few that matter most. They don't spend all their energy fighting the clock, they spend it aligning their focus with their purpose. This chapter marks the first shift in your mindset. Instead of asking, how can I manage my time better? You'll begin asking, how can I manage my mind, so I get the most out of the time I already have? Because when your energy is high, your focus is clear, and your priorities are aligned, you can do in 2 focused hours what others can't do in 2 full days. This book will teach you how to build that kind of life. You'll learn how to direct your attention with intention, protect your mind from constant distractions, and organize your energy so you're always performing at your best. But before any of that can happen, you must let go of the old model, the illusion that you need to get more time. You don't need more time, you need to stop leaking it, and that starts right now. Chapter 2, Focus is your superpower. In a world flooded with noise, your ability to focus is the one skill that separates progress from distraction, clarity from confusion, and excellence from mediocrity. While most people spend their days scattered, checking notifications, switching between tasks, jumping from one shallow action to another, those who master focus access an entirely different level of power. They accomplish more in less time, create work that matters, and experience a deep sense of flow that others only dream of. Focus isn't just helpful, it's your superpower. But here's the problem: we live in an attention economy. Every app, platform, and device you use is designed to steal your focus and sell it. The more distracted you are, the more profit is made off your attention. This makes focus not just rare, but unnatural in today's environment. You are surrounded by tools and technologies that train your brain to crave interruption. Over time, you begin to lose the ability to concentrate, even when you want to. That's why most people feel busy but unproductive. They're not lacking effort, they're lacking depth. They're constantly starting and stopping, never staying with one thought long enough to go deep or produce meaningful results. Their day is consumed by mental clutter and surface-level activity, leaving them exhausted and unfulfilled. To break this cycle, you must reclaim your focus, not just occasionally, but intentionally and consistently. You must protect it like your most valuable asset, because it is. Focus is what allows you to enter a flow state, that zone where distractions fade, time slows down, and you're fully immersed in what you're doing. In this state, you produce your best work. You feel fully alive. You move effortlessly from idea to execution. But flow cannot happen without sustained focus. And sustained focus requires discipline, clarity, and protection from the noise around you. It starts with creating the right environment. You can't expect to focus deeply if you're surrounded by pings, pop-ups, and digital temptations. You need to design your space for concentration. That means turning off unnecessary notifications, setting clear boundaries, and using tools that help you block distractions, not fuel them. But even more importantly, it requires a shift in how you value your attention. Every time you check your phone mindlessly, every time you jump from task to task without intention, you train your brain to operate at a shallow level. But every time you resist distraction and stay with one task, especially when it's uncomfortable, you build mental strength. You train your brain to stay with what matters. In a world where attention is currency, the richest people will be those who can control theirs. Focus also requires clarity. You can't concentrate on what matters if you're not clear on what matters. That's why intentional planning is key. Before diving into tasks, you must define your priorities. What's the one thing that, if done today, would move your life or work forward? Focus begins when you stop reacting and start choosing with purpose, and finally, focus requires practice. Just like a muscle, it grows stronger the more you use it. Start small, maybe just 20 minutes of deep work, fully present, no interruptions. Build from there. Over time, you'll notice you can go longer, think deeper, and produce better results in less time. When you master your focus, everything changes. You'll stop wasting energy on low-value tasks. You'll feel less scattered, less stressed, and more in control. You'll begin to move through your day with clarity and momentum. And most importantly, you'll be able to consistently do the work that actually matters, the work that leads to progress, fulfillment, and purpose. So remember this: you don't rise to the level of your motivation, you fall to the level of your focus. And focus is not something you wait to feel. It's something you build, something you train, something you protect. And when you do, it becomes the greatest asset you'll ever own. Chapter 3: Eliminate the non-essential. In a world that demands constant action, it's easy to assume that success comes from doing more meetings, more tasks, more goals, more of everything. Yet, in this constant rush to do it all, most people find themselves overwhelmed, burnt out, and not much closer to their true objectives. The truth, however, is that doing less, but doing it with intentionality and focus, is the key to productivity, progress, and ultimately, success. This chapter is built on a radical idea: you must learn to eliminate the non-essential tasks in your life in order to focus on what really matters. It's not about managing time or fitting more tasks into your already crowded schedule. It's about recognizing that your time and energy are finite resources, and they should be invested only in what truly aligns with your goals, values, and purpose. Everything else is just noise. The biggest mistake people make is trying to do everything, hoping that if they work hard enough, they'll be able to fit it all in. The problem with this mindset is that not everything is worth your attention. And this is where elimination comes in, removing what doesn't matter, so that you can direct your efforts and energy towards what does. Think about your daily routine. How much of it is filled with tasks, obligations, and responsibilities that don't move you closer to your most important goals? Chances are, there are dozens of little things that steal your time and focus every single day, but don't actually contribute to your success. These are the distractions, the busy work, the low-priority tasks that appear important but are ultimately insignificant. Now, imagine if you could free yourself from all of this unnecessary activity. What if, instead of mindlessly adding more to your plate, you decided to remove the things that don't add value? Imagine the space that would open up for deep work, for creative thinking, for strategic planning, and for rest. Things that actually help you make progress. Elimination is the art of saying no to the things that don't serve your purpose. It's about becoming more selective with your time and energy, and only focusing on those tasks, relationships, and commitments that truly matter. But here's the challenge: saying no is hard. We live in a world that constantly asks us to say yes to more meetings, yes to more tasks, yes to more commitments. And we say yes because we feel guilty, because we don't want to disappoint, or because we think that saying yes is the only way to stay productive. But what you need to understand is that by saying yes to everything, you're essentially saying no to yourself and your most important goals. Saying yes to distractions means saying no to focus. Saying yes to low-priority activities means saying no to high-impact work. And that's a dangerous cycle to fall into. So, how do you begin the process of elimination? 1. Start with a time audit. The first step in elimination is becoming aware of how you're currently spending your time. For the next week, track every activity you do throughout the day. Write down what you're working on, how long it takes, and how you feel during and after the task. This will give you valuable insight into where your time is going and help you identify the tasks that aren't worth your energy. 2. Assess what adds value. Once you have a clear picture of where your time is going, start evaluating which tasks are truly moving you closer to your goals. Which activities give you energy and a sense of progress? Which ones drain you, make you feel busy but not productive, or just don't contribute to your long-term success? Be ruthless in this assessment. If it's not adding value, it doesn't deserve your attention. 3. Eliminate low-value activities. Start eliminating the things that don't matter. This might mean cutting out unnecessary meetings, saying no to social invitations that take up time without enrich. your life, or dropping tasks that are either irrelevant or too trivial to move the needle. It also means stopping the cycle of checking your phone for every notification or answering every email as soon as it comes in. These are habits that eat away at your focus without contributing anything substantial. 4. Say no more often. Learn to say no, not just to other people's demands but to your own impulses. When you're tempted to take on something new, ask yourself, does this align with my top priorities? Will this move me closer to my ultimate goals? If the answer is no, let it go. It's better to focus on a few high-impact activities than to stretch yourself thin trying to please everyone and do everything. 5. Simplify your systems. Elimination isn't just about tasks, it's about simplifying your whole system. This could mean decluttering your workspace, streamlining your processes, or reducing the number of tools you rely on. The simpler and more organized your environment, the less mental energy you'll spend on managing it, and the more you'll have available for the things that truly matter. Elimination isn't just about removing tasks from your to-do list. It's about creating space for focus, for deep work, and for meaningful progress. It's about removing the distractions that steal your attention, so you can direct it toward what truly makes a difference in your life. Once you begin the process of eliminating the non-essential, you'll quickly realize that you have more time, more energy, and more focus than you thought possible. And when you start filling that space with the right activities, those that align with your goals, your values, and your vision, you'll begin to see a dramatic shift in your productivity and sense of fulfillment. So, the next time you find yourself overwhelmed with tasks, ask yourself, what can I eliminate today? The answer will become your key to regaining control, achieving your goals, and living a life with purpose. Chapter 4. Enter the flow state. One of the most transformative states you can experience in your pursuit of mastering time is the flow state. Achieving flow is like finding the perfect balance between challenge and skill, where the task at hand is so engaging that you lose track of time. When you're in flow, distractions fade away, and your productivity reaches new heights. This mental state is characterized by complete immersion, where every ounce of your focus is directed toward the task, and the outside world melts into the background. For creators, professionals, and anyone who strives for excellence, flow is the holy grail, a state where everything falls into place effortlessly. But flow is not something that happens by chance. It is a state that can be cultivated with intentionality and practice. To consistently enter flow, you must create the right conditions in your environment, focus on the process rather than the outcome, and challenge yourself to engage deeply with the work at hand. The power of flow lies in its ability to help you reach your highest potential by making your work feel effortless, even when it requires significant mental effort. Flow is the mental state in which you are fully immersed and engaged in what you're doing. The idea of flow was first introduced by psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, who found that people in flow experience a sense of deep fulfillment and intrinsic motivation. It's when you lose yourself in your work, forget about the time, and feel as if you are in the zone. In this chapter, we will explore how to create the ideal conditions for flow to occur, and how you can use this state to maximize your productivity, creativity, and overall success. 1. Create the right environment. The foundation of flow starts with your environment. Your physical space plays a crucial role in determining whether you can enter flow or not. If you are surrounded by distractions, whether it's noise, clutter, or constant interruptions, it will be much harder to engage fully with the task at hand. To set the stage for flow, you must first eliminate distractions. This could mean turning off notifications on your phone, closing unnecessary browser tabs, or setting up a dedicated workspace that's free from interruptions. The fewer distractions you have, the more you can concentrate on the task, and the easier it becomes to enter a state of flow. Additionally, creating a routine that signals to your brain that it's time to focus can be incredibly helpful. This might include setting aside specific times of the day to work on deep tasks or having rituals that help transition into focus, such as a few minutes of meditation, a short walk, or even organizing your workspace before diving in. The more you can train your environment to be conducive to deep work, the more consistently you'll be able to access the flow state. 2. Set clear and challenging goals. One of the key components of entering flow is having clear, well-defined goals. Without a clear sense of direction, it's easy for your mind to wander, or for the task to feel aimless. The best way to facilitate flow is to have a precise understanding of what you want to achieve, and a clear pathway to get there. However, it's not just about having goals, it's about having the right goals. Goals should be challenging but achievable, striking the balance between being too easy and too overwhelming. When the task is too simple, your mind will quickly lose interest. When it's too difficult, you'll feel frustrated and disconnected. The key is to find a task that pushes your abilities while still feeling within reach. For example, if you're a writer, setting the goal to write 1,000 words within an hour might push your limits enough to keep you engaged, but if you set an unrealistic goal of writing 10,000 words in the same time, you might feel overwhelmed and fail to achieve flow. 3. Focus on one task at a time. Flow thrives when you direct your attention to a single task. Multitasking, despite its appeal in our fast-paced world, is detrimental to achieving flow. When you split your attention between several activities, you diminish the focus needed to enter the flow state. To maximize your ability to enter flow, you need to commit to single tasking. Dedicate yourself entirely to one activity at a time. If you're working on a project, focus solely on that, without checking emails, social media, or anything else. The more you can immerse yourself in one task, the more likely you are to slip into flow. Some people find it helpful to break tasks into smaller, manageable chunks. For instance, setting a goal to write one paragraph at a time or solving one problem at a time can make the task feel less daunting and more achievable, thereby increasing your chances of entering flow. 4. Challenge yourself and find the sweet spot. Flow occurs when there is a balance between the difficulty of the task and your skill level. If the task is too easy, you will quickly become bored. If it's too difficult, you'll feel frustrated. The goal is to find that sweet spot, the ideal balance where the task is challenging enough to keep you engaged but not overwhelming. The more you practice, the better you become at identifying the level of challenge that will push you into flow. Continuously seek to stretch your abilities. This doesn't mean taking on impossible tasks, but rather gradually increasing the level of difficulty in what you're doing. This could be in the form of taking on more complex projects or setting higher goals that force you to develop new skills. As you expand your comfort zone, you open up more opportunities to experience flow. 5. Focus on the process, not the outcome. One of the most powerful aspects of flow is that it allows you to be completely absorbed in the process, rather than being preoccupied with the outcome. When you focus solely on the end result, you often become anxious, distracted, or even discouraged if things don't go as planned. But in flow, you forget about the result and become fully immersed in the journey of doing the work itself. By shifting your focus away from perfectionism and results, you can free yourself from the pressure that often hinders creativity. When you are engaged in the process of creating or problem solving, the quality of the work improves, and you feel more fulfilled. Let go of the need for immediate success and embrace the present moment of creation. 6. Practice regularly. Flow is not an event, it's a skill that requires consistent practice. The more you intentionally create the right conditions, challenge yourself, and immerse yourself in the process, the more easily you will enter flow. It's important to treat flow like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Start by carving out regular time in your day for focused work. The longer you engage in deep work, the more naturally flow will emerge. Track your progress, refine your environment, and continue to challenge yourself, and you will begin to notice that flow becomes a more regular part of your productivity routine. Entering the flow state is one of the most profound ways to enhance your productivity and creativity. It requires intention, practice, and creating the right conditions, but once you master it, you will experience a dramatic shift in how you approach tasks. Flow allows you to do your best work, achieve more in less time, and feel deeply fulfilled by the work you do. By consistently engaging in flow, you can unlock your full potential and take your productivity to levels you never thought possible. Chapter 5. Build momentum through consistency. Momentum is the force that propels you forward in your work, making tasks feel easier and more automatic. It's what transforms hard work into something that feels almost effortless over time. However, momentum doesn't appear by itself, it's created by consistent, small actions that build upon each other, creating a snowball effect that accelerates your progress. This chapter explores how to actively build momentum and keep it going, so that you're not relying on bursts of motivation to get things done. The first step in building momentum is to start with small wins. Rather than jumping straight into large, overwhelming tasks, begin with smaller, more achievable goals that give you a sense of accomplishment right away. These small wins release dopamine, which motivates you to keep moving forward. Each success builds confidence and reinforces the habit of working toward your bigger goals. For instance, if you're writing a book, committing to writing just a page a day can create a steady rhythm and boost your confidence, making it easier to continue the next day. Another essential element to building momentum is creating routines and habits. When you make tasks a part of your daily routine, you eliminate the need for constant decision-making and willpower. Routines transform tasks into automatic behaviors, making it easier to stay consistent even when motivation is low. Whether it's setting aside a specific time each day to work or incorporating habits like reviewing goals every morning, structure helps maintain forward movement. Consistency is key, and it's important to commit to daily action, even when motivation wanes. On days when you feel uninspired, make sure to do something, no matter how small. Committing to action, even if it's just for a few minutes, ensures that you don't lose the progress you've already made. The more you take action, the more momentum you build, and soon enough, it becomes easier to tackle. Bigger tasks. Celebrating progress is another crucial aspect of maintaining momentum. Acknowledging each step, no matter how small, boosts morale and reinforces the behaviors that lead to success. It's about recognizing the effort, not the end result. When you celebrate progress, you're creating positive feedback loops that keep you motivated and moving forward. Perfectionism and procrastination, however, can easily destroy momentum. Perfectionism can cause you to overthink or delay action because you're waiting for the perfect conditions, while procrastination makes tasks seem more daunting than they are. This chapter encourages you to embrace good enough instead of perfection. Momentum is built by showing up every day, even if the work isn't perfect. By breaking tasks into smaller, manageable chunks and focusing on completion, you can avoid the traps of perfectionism and procrastination and keep moving forward. Lastly, momentum isn't always a straight line. It's natural to experience slumps or challenges along the way. The key to building lasting momentum is to push through these dips, stay focused on your long-term goals, and keep taking action. Even in moments of low energy or inspiration, continuing with small tasks keeps the momentum alive, allowing you to regain your rhythm more quickly. I conclude by saying that momentum is the powerful force that can turn hard work into an easy, natural flow of productivity. By consistently taking small actions, creating routines, celebrating progress, and avoiding perfectionism, you can keep momentum building and propel yourself toward success. The more momentum you create, the easier it becomes to keep progressing, even through the inevitable challenges and slow periods. This chapter teaches you how to generate momentum and use it to make your work feel less daunting and more fulfilling. Chapter 6. Eliminate distractions and focus on what matters. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Whether it's the constant ping of notifications, a noisy environment, or even the pull of our own thoughts, staying focused on important tasks can feel like an uphill battle. However, one of the most powerful ways to master your time and boost productivity is by eliminating distractions and sharpening your ability to concentrate on what truly matters. This chapter will explore practical strategies for identifying and removing distractions, and how you can create an environment that supports sustained focus. The first step in eliminating distractions is to identify them. Distractions can be both external and internal, and it's essential to recognize where your attention is being pulled. External distractions, such as social media, emails, or interruptions from others, are easy to spot, but internal distractions like wandering thoughts, anxiety, or the urge to multitask can be trickier to manage. Keeping a distraction log for a week can help you pinpoint where your time and energy are being lost. By tracking these distractions, you can take proactive steps to address them. Once you've identified your distractions, the next step is to create a focused environment. Your physical surroundings play a significant role in your ability to concentrate. A cluttered or noisy environment can pull your attention away from the task at hand. So it's important to minimize these external distractions. This might involve organizing your workspace, turning off unnecessary notifications, or setting boundaries with people around you to protect your focus. Additionally, preparing your mind for deep work before starting a task is key. Try using techniques like the Pomodoro technique, which breaks work into focused intervals followed by short breaks, to help maintain your concentration over longer periods. In addition to your environment, setting clear priorities is another powerful tool for staying focused. When you're unclear about what tasks are most important, it's easy to jump from one task to another, scattering your attention and energy. To avoid this, make a daily or weekly plan that highlights your highest priority tasks. Focus on completing these tasks first before moving on to less critical ones. By prioritizing your most important work, you ensure that you're dedicating your mental energy to the activities that will have the biggest impact. Internal distractions, such as stress, self-doubt, or the tendency to multitask, can also derail your focus. Mindfulness techniques can be incredibly helpful here. Practicing mindfulness involves staying present and aware of your thoughts without allowing them to dictate your actions. When distractions arise, instead of getting frustrated or giving in to them, simply acknowledge them and refocus on your task. Regular breaks to recharge your mind can also help prevent burnout and keep you energized. Whether it's a quick walk, a few minutes of deep breathing, or a short meditation session, taking breaks can help you maintain mental clarity and avoid fatigue. Technology, while essential, can also be a major source of distraction. However, it can also be a powerful tool for enhancing focus if used wisely. To prevent technology from pulling you off course, start by managing your notifications. Turn off non-essential alerts and use apps designed to promote focus, such as website blockers or focus timers. Schedule specific times throughout the day to check your email or social media accounts, rather than letting them interrupt your workflow. By creating boundaries around when and how you engage with technology, you can keep it from disrupting your focus. Building mental discipline is another crucial aspect of staying focused. Like any skill, your ability to focus improves the more you practice it. Start with small increments of focused work and gradually extend the time as you become more comfortable with sustained concentration. Challenge yourself to work without interruption for longer stretches, and you'll see how your ability to focus improves over time. It's also important to say no to distractions and opportunities that don't align with your goals. By protecting your time and attention, you're ensuring that you have the mental energy to focus on the things that matter most. Finally, every distraction presents an opportunity for growth. Rather than viewing distractions as setbacks, use them as a chance to practice refocusing your attention. Each time you slip into distraction, take note of what pulled you away from your task, and gently bring your mind back to the work at hand. Over time, you'll strengthen your focus muscle, making it easier to maintain deep concentration. Eliminating distractions and staying focused on what matters is a game changer for productivity. By identifying where distractions come from, designing a distraction-free environment, setting clear priorities, and practicing mindfulness, you can create a focused, productive mindset. Technology, when used intentionally, can enhance your focus rather than hinder it. Building mental discipline and learning to refocus after every distraction will sharpen your ability to concentrate, making it easier to achieve your long-term goals. In a world full of distractions, mastering the art of focus is one of the most powerful skills you can develop for success. Chapter 7: Review and refine your time management process. Mastering time management is not a one-time achievement but rather an ongoing process that requires continual review and refinement. No matter how well you manage your time today, there's always room for improvement. The key to long-term productivity and success lies in consistently assessing how you're using your time and making adjustments based on what's working and what isn't. In this chapter, we will explore the importance of reflection and improvement, and provide tools to help you regularly evaluate and evolve your time management strategies to match your goals and lifestyle. A common mistake many people make is assuming that once they have established a time management system, there is no need to revisit it. However, life is in constant flux, new opportunities arise, unexpected challenges occur, and personal and professional goals evolve. This means that your time management process should evolve as well. Regular reviews allow you to identify what's working, what isn't, and what needs to change. Without this step, you may find yourself stuck in outdated routines that no longer serve your needs or reflect your current priorities. The first step in refining your time management process is to reflect on your goals. Are your current goals still relevant? Do your daily activities align with these goals? Periodically, it's essential to ask yourself if you're still pursuing the right objectives. Reflection helps ensure that you're investing your time in what truly matters, and not in tasks that, while seemingly productive, don't contribute to your larger vision. By regularly reassessing your goals, you can confirm whether you are making real progress and if any adjustments are necessary to stay on track. A powerful tool for refining your time management is conducting a time audit. This means tracking how you spend your time for a week or more to gain a clear understanding of where your energy is going. A time audit helps you identify time sinks, activities that consume more time than they should, or areas where you may be wasting time on tasks that do not align with your priorities. Once you have this information, you can make informed decisions about where to eliminate inefficiencies and optimize your schedule. Another critical part of refining your time management is identifying and eliminating any obstacles or inefficiencies. These could include external distractions, such as unnecessary meetings or interruptions, as well as internal distractions like procrastination, lack of focus, or poor mental energy management. Once you identify these barriers, you can take targeted action to remove them. For example, if meetings are taking up too much of your time, you might consider delegating or streamlining these commitments. Similarly, if distractions like social media or emails are consuming valuable time, consider implementing strategies to limit your engagement with them during focus periods. It's also important to track your energy levels and adjust your schedule based on when you're most productive. Many people tend to overlook the fact that energy fluctuates throughout the day. For instance, some may be more focused and productive in the morning, while others may experience a surge of energy in the afternoon or evening. By recognizing these natural energy patterns and scheduling your most demanding tasks during your peak focus times, you can ensure that you're working when your mind and body are best equipped to handle them. This small shift can significantly improve productivity without requiring more time or effort. Finally, remember that the process of refining your time management should be flexible. As you evolve, so should your time management strategies. You should continuously look for new techniques and tools that can help you work more efficiently. This could involve using new productivity apps, adjusting your work environment, or adopting new focus techniques. The key is to keep experimenting with new methods and refining your approach until you find what works best for you. In conclusion, time management is a dynamic and ongoing process. By regularly reviewing your goals, auditing your time, and eliminating distractions, you can refine your time management practices to remain aligned with your evolving priorities. Understanding that time management is not a fixed formula but a fluid process is crucial to long-term success. By making continuous adjustments and improvements, you ensure that you're using your time and energy as effectively as possible, paving the way for greater productivity, fulfillment, and success.